Good morning. Welcome to my new YouTube channel. My name is Helena Signore. I'm an author and illustrator of a Catholic book for children on the Real Presence. And I'm starting this YouTube channel for catechists who are either lay catechists or in the classroom. And if a DRE wants to share this channel, that's great. Today, the channel is titled Catholic Catechists and Homeschoolers. Are you overwhelmed? Untrained? Need ideas to share our faith? I am here to try to offer my suggestions. So let's get started with just introducing myself, and then I will be dropping 1 to 2 videos a week and connecting them to my author page. So during this presentation, and I'll try to keep it short each time, there will be information on how to get a hold of me or to also find out when the next video is being dropped. So again, my name is Helena Signore. I am the author illustrator of this book on the Real Presence for children. It's called I Am, the Mystery of the Real Presence of Christ in the Eucharist for Children. And as I said, I'm a retired Catholic school teacher and the illustrator of that book. And even though I was only retired for about a month, I had a night of insomnia, thank you, Jesus, where God was talking to me. And as I reflected on my teaching, I realized I wasn't done teaching. I missed some of the aspects of teaching already in July that maybe he would continue to want to use from me. Now, I'm not God's gift to teaching, but he asked me to do this. So what my goal is, to summarize, is I will be sharing catechetical ideas based on practices that I did in the classroom for 22 years in a second grade Catholic school. Also, I have religious ed experience prior to becoming a teacher. So my goal is to create a video channel for catechists, whether you're a homeschooler or a lay volunteer. I'm hoping that this will be a landing page for people around the United States who are in the process of trying to educate our children in the faith to share their best practices. So if you want to spread the word to your friends and family, follow my author Facebook page, which is at H Signore. It's HS and the word ignore, but try not to ignore me. .I am, and the I am is in capital letters. Also, if you wanted to email me, my author email is Helena, all lowercase, like St. Helena, .signore, there's another dot, author at gmail.com. helena.signore.author@gmail.com. So if you have any questions after this channel gets launched, if you would like lesson plan ideas, if you have an idea of your own that you want to share, I'm hoping that I can be a conduit, a place where we can start this conversation and provide video ideas on lesson planning. You are busy. I've been a catechist prior to becoming a Catholic school teacher, a lay catechist, and I know that it's really hard to take the time to plan and come up with ideas. It's homework, and you're raising children. So if you are interested in a quick video page, then subscribe to my channel and spread the word. If you would like to stay on with me for a few more minutes, I'm going to introduce myself a little bit more so you have an idea of who I am, and then, again, pass the word. So my goal is to save you from doing so much research by giving quick tips and recommendations. And my credentials are that I taught in a Catholic school for 22 years. It was second grade the whole time, but my goal is to work first with my knowledge for K-2 lesson plan ideas, but also reflect back on when I was a lay catechist, and I will be resourcing from my friends who are still teaching in Catholic schools. I will be targeting K-8 suggestions. Currently, now in my retirement, besides doing this, I will be attending conferences, selling my book. I've in the past read my book at First Communion retreats. I have presented on the Real Presence to Moms groups and youth groups using Vatican approved Eucharistic miracles. I just feel called that is something that God has asked me to do. In fact, with the whole new National Eucharistic Revival for the next 3 years, it's interesting God's timing, because it was 2006 when I first wrote my book. Will I be talking about my book down the road? Yes, but that is not the main purpose of this YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is to bring books into the conversation that I used in the classroom, but also other resources or ways of learning prayer, or doing a fun craft activity to go with the book, or a craft activity to kind of express one of the tenets of our faith at different age levels. So I really want these videos to be 3 to 5 minutes, so that if you're sitting down after making dinner with your family, you can click on a video link. In my early 20s, God called me to think about becoming a nun. And after about 6 months of prayer and reflection and spending time living in a convent, the priest thought that God was not calling me to be a nun, but it was a very great time in my life where I lived with a nun and helped volunteer in this parish in a poor community, and it was very enriching to me. I ended up working as an assistant to the DRE in Battle Creek, Michigan, at St. Joseph's in Battle Creek, and I was supposed to be a part-time secretary, but she tapped me to be the junior high coordinator for religious education. I selected curriculum. I trained catechists who I recruited and team taught with them. Another thing that I did after I met my husband through a single Catholic young adult group that I helped start, I taught with him 9th grade religious education in Chicago. Then we started having children. Took a little time off of working as a catechist because I was working full-time and having children. My husband went back to school to be a teacher, and I kept being involved in working and catechesis, as many of you have. And it gets to be a little crazy. Your heart is in the right place. You want to do for God what will help your children grow in their faith and spend time with them in your church community. But your time is at a premium. So when you are inspired to volunteer as a lay catechist, you think you're crazy because you don't know how you're going to have the time to do that. And I've been there. I've felt those things. During that time, I helped chair Vacation Bible School 1 year at one of my parishes. I saw that a volunteer catechist, who it was his first time being a catechist, had no clue how to teach 4th grade religious ed. He just was really lost as how to present the material, even though his heart was in the right place. So I suggested that I do the lesson planning, and we would team teach together. So we each had a 4th grade group, and we team taught together. And that really helped guide him and mentor him. So I could tell as things were progressing that I enjoyed teaching and catechesis, and coming up with ideas was fairly easy to me. And during that time when I was teaching 4th grade, I realized I should have been a teacher. My husband had gone back to school to be a teacher. He was not in that field when we got married. We went from 2 kids to 4 kids during the time that my husband was a full-time student and a waiter. And then I took some time off of working full-time in sales and customer service and did some daycare and then waited tables and went back to school. And I finally became a teacher at the age of 39. So I know what it's like to have a crazy life and still want to be there for God and do for God what you feel He's calling you to do. But one thing I realized as I was going through my education process to become a teacher is, again, this desire to lesson plan. I enjoyed the creativity of it. When I was given my degree when I graduated from Aquinas College in Grand Rapids, Michigan, with my teaching certificate, I was immediately asked to return by one of my teachers and make a presentation to upcoming teachers on lesson plan ideas for reading remediation. Then in my second year at my Catholic school, it fell upon me to be a teacher mentor of a student teacher. It was only my second year, and I was mentoring a student teacher. So the reason I share that is because I feel that God kept stretching me, and I kept saying yes even when I didn't feel that I was ready. And if you are a lay catechist or a person who has decided to homeschool, or even an experienced catechist in a Catholic school, God is always stretching us, and it's really great when we can get ideas from each other. Why should we reinvent the wheel? So that's what I'm here to do. I don't want you to be stuck, and I know that I won't always come up with a lesson plan idea that will be the perfect one for you that week, that day. But if you can continue to share and subscribe to my channel and spread the word, I hope that we can help catechists out there and eventually build up enough of a video library or comments that you tack on to any videos that I do, that we can really start to help each other be the best we can be in answering God's call to do this wonderful act of teaching his children about their faith. Again, I'm going to be leaning on some books that I used in the classroom, telling you the names, kind of a summary of the book, and then where maybe to get it. I would suggest, if you don't know how to get these books because you won't find them at your local library, or if you have a school library, a Catholic school library, if you have a little reading area for materials for parishioners to check out, that might be a place to start to look for some of these. Maybe you can put the word out on Facebook, I'm looking for this book. Maybe you could put the word out with your DRE, I'm looking for this book. It would be great too if DREs had a little classroom library that teachers could resource from, and probably a lot of them have accumulated books over the years. Jesus used parables, and children just love stories. That's why I wrote mine, because I needed something as a springboard to try to take my students deeper in preparing them for receiving Jesus in the Eucharist. So thank you for listening, and I will have a couple of new videos coming out right after this one. I'm going to try to post all three at the same time. The first book I will be featuring is called Angel in the Waters. I'm also going to be doing a video on this great ABC puzzle, which would be fantastic for K1, even 2, or preschool. I was just at the National Catholic Marketing Network conference in July in Schaumburg, Illinois, where I was selling my book to Catholic stores and making sure they were aware it exists. And that I was next to a vendor who was selling saint toys. And so I will be very excited to share that puzzle. Even though I never used it in the classroom, I bought it for myself for use with my grandchildren. And I can see lots of applications for using it in preschool, kindergarten, first, possibly even second grade. So that video will be coming up. Angel in the Waters is a book that I used every single year, and it is a fantastic book to celebrate life and think about even our guardian angels. I used to use it at guardian angel time. So each video will have a little title, so hopefully it will help you pinpoint which videos you want to click on and watch. Thanks again for listening. God bless.